Hi, this is Joe, and welcome back to Content Inc. I've been doing something lately that I don't always enjoy. I've been going back through old content, years of newsletters, some drafts, half forgotten posts, and ideas from a different season of my life, if you will. I'm doing this because I had to transition into what now is Joe Pulizzi's Tilt newsletter, and I wanted to understand what still held up and what needed to be evolved, if you will. I'm really working toward what matters now. Now, one piece I revisited was something I wrote about 6 years ago on Apple in the Think Different campaign. And reading it now, with everything that's changed in the world since then, it landed a bit differently for me. Back in 1997, Apple was getting crushed, losing billions, analysts calling for their funeral. And then Steve Jobs came back, and instead of talking about product features, he talked about belief. He talked about core values. He talked about why Apple existed and who it was for. His line was that people with passion can change the world for the better. And he truly believed that. And it wasn't hype, it was his operating system. And when I read that again recently, I started to ask myself a broader question. Is there something here that creators and entrepreneurs can actually use today? Not a nice story, but a system. Something you can run your business on, something you can fall back on when things wobble. And I realize there is. It's a system I've lived for over 20 years without naming it, and it's incredibly simple. Belief is the engine, service is the direction. Let me start with belief, because belief is the piece we don't talk enough about in the business world. I watched that Eddie Murphy documentary where he describes being a kid and knowing he would be famous, not hoping, not wishing, knowing. And no one could convince him otherwise. I keep seeing that same mindset in the creators who survive long enough to break through. They believe they can do something that matters. They believe they can figure things out even when they have no idea what the next step is. They believe before the world believes. I've had my own version of that after selling Content Marketing Institute and taking a full year off. I came back with the idea for the Tilt. I believed it would transform the creator world. I believed it would be this big shift in how creators thought about ownership and monetization. And during COVID, I believed we could build a new event around that idea. Then reality stepped in. We launched Content Entrepreneur Expo earlier than we probably should have. We didn't have the relationships yet. We didn't have that deep trust that makes an event thrive. And when it didn't take off the way I hoped, my belief wavered a little bit. I wondered what was missing. I wondered if maybe my timing was off or if I've lost a step. But this is where the second part of the system comes in, because belief alone is not enough. Belief can get you started, but it can also turn inward. And when it turns inward, you start thinking too much about yourself, your numbers, your fears, your expectations, your ego. The thing that saved me every time is shifting my attention back to the person I'm trying to help. When Jump to 42, later Content Marketing Institute, began to struggle, really struggle, back in 2009, I went to the inbox. I reread the emails from subscribers. I saw that people were telling me we were helping them, that they were doing better work because of us, and my belief came back. Now with the Tilt, even when I didn't love the numbers, people were still writing in. They would say the newsletter helped them, or that the podcast kept them going in some way, or that something I said made a difference that week. I realized I had been measuring the wrong things. And when I put my eyes back on the audience, that belief returned. Now, this is true not just in business, it's true in every part of life. When things feel off with my kids or with my wife, it's almost always because I'm thinking about myself too much. But when I ask what would help them, what would serve their needs, what would make their lives better, everything becomes clear again. So the system is this. Believe you can do something meaningful. Believe you can help someone. But then make the work about the person you serve, not about yourself. Belief is the engine, but the service points the car in the right direction. If you can believe that you can help someone else, you can outlast almost anything. You will always know what to do next, and the work will have meaning even on the days when the metrics don't cooperate. So if you need a compass right now, especially in a world where AI is rewriting everything, use this. Believe you can make a difference, then aim that belief at the people you serve. It's simple, and it might be enough. Thanks for listening. If you want more of this, please subscribe to the brand new Joe Palizzi's Tilt newsletter at thetilt.com. Every Friday morning, I'll dig deeper into how to build something meaningful and sustainable as a creator today. And until next Monday, keep building something that matters.